Welcome to the Land Tamer stream. It's good to be back here. Haven't been back here in a minute. This wallpaper of the day is from recent passes over the planet of Jupiter, and just beautiful images coming with each pass, which is awesome, and it's amazing. So really enjoying some of those, seeing some of those on Twitter and sharing some of those. Anybody knows follows the stream. Love astronomy and space flight, things like that. But anyway. Yeah, as you remember pictures as a kid when you would see pictures of Jupiter in science books compared to what we're seeing now, the details are just amazing. But getting back to networking here, let me pull up the agenda for this vlog. This is going to be a brief vlog, just kind of an update. Here's the chat in case anybody wants to chat here on Twitch. But yeah, it's been a while. It's really good to be back. It's been about 10 days since I streamed. And it's been a number of days since I've actually posted anything in social media, whether that be Twitter or Instagram. There's a reason for that, and I want to explain that. But I'm sort of hoping to start a study Olympiad here, the first, for the CCIE written. Here's what's going on with me, though. Basically, I'm working on a family project that has required pretty much all available time and energy and some expense that looks like now will progress through to March 1st. On March 1st, I should be available to get back to my routine. Trust me though, I'm constantly thinking about, I'm trying to divert my attention to this project, get everything that I need for it. But I'm still constantly thinking about the impending deadline for the CCI written. And where I've been able to, have not been many opportunities, but where I've been able to, I have hit a few Boson questions here or there, checked into Discord. I've tried to interact a little bit and taken a couple of challenges there in Discord. Let me see what the days left are, guys. In the 115, yeah. I was in the 120s, now I'm in the 115s. Probably when I get back in earnest, we'll be in the hundreds. What's today? 17th. So I might even be in single digits, which is kind of scary. But anyway, we got to just, life happens. Things come up. You do what you got to do. And some of this I've been putting off and can do so no longer due to an impending deadline. So anyway, that's what's going on. Also next week, I'm traveling due to some training programs, specifically some Scrum training. It's interesting, guys. DevOps or network operations is really happening, and the DevOps disciplines have proven themselves, and they're now spilling into infrastructure operations. Whether we like it or not, at least it is with me. And now I'm a part of a group, doing implementations in the cloud. And I'm interacting more closely with some developers or people from the development side, may come from the infrastructure side, and they're already Scrum trained and operating sort of on a different level of Agile. So anyway, there's been a recognition some of us need that Scrum training. I'm doing that next week. I'll be traveling. Which leads into some discussion about the VIRL update, VIRL 1.5, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. So again, it's going to be light for me, very few streams, very few interactions. That may pick up some more up to March 1st as I'm kind of getting caught up on my family project. It's, urgent project. So I will have a little more time to interact as that date approaches, hopefully. So yeah, we're working a lot in Azure. Great impressions. It's a different way of thinking. I plan to vlog about this some more later as I get more and more familiar with Azure. But first impressions, it's different. What can I say? It's so much different than working on-prem in a traditional vSphere, Cisco switching environment. So switching and routing. But yeah, it's very powerful for automation. There are so many powerful tools. What I really love about the one thing that's built into Azure is while some of the built-in actual applications or tools to me are somewhat immature compared to mature developed on-prem solutions. Um, and like a lot of other things, for example, with Microsoft operating system, when you in the traditional Microsoft operating system, when you install it, you get a default set of tools and capabilities that are free with your license for the operating system. But some of those tools are very rudimentary, like WordPad, just to find an example. And you can bring in third-party tools, whether that be Microsoft Word or another, in the old days of WordPerfect, to bridge that gap. Telnet, well, it's not so easy to use, but if you want a shell, then you buy a third-party tool that does it so much better. Same with Azure. What I've found, they have a lot of built-in turnkey solutions there in the environment that are very geared towards working in Azure, but sometimes there are limitations as to what those can do. Now, granted, you are paying for them, but oftentimes, we're finding, and I'm finding that I need additional third-party tools to do a better job. And but that's okay. It's just really great to be working in Azure some, and to see what I really like is having sort of a kind of what I think about in Ansible, where you have a present state running configuration at any time is in a script or in a template that you can either manipulate or change. And anytime you make an adjustment, you automatically have, not just the deployed result, but you have a copy of the changed configuration, which is beautiful. I love that aspect of Azure. And I actually got PowerShell installed. I'm on Windows 7 on the station I'm using, and had to do several iterations of upgrades to the PowerShell. But I'm starting to use PowerShell, the CLI for Azure. There's also the Azure CLI. It's more of a Linux bash. It is a bash shell, and they're great. I love it. So I'm learning about doing that, and it's great stuff. Really excited, and that's really post CCIE study, not necessarily Azure, but automation and scripting and NetOps. That's, I think, going to be my next down the road focus. So the fact that I'm already working on that is cool. I love it. Back to written study. Yes, the days are counting down, as I mentioned. It's interesting watching the Discord and interacting on Twitter and everything. The tamers, I call them, people, the land tamers that are in North America, fellow students. Everyone seems to have started, like me, to sort of hunker down on studying for the written. In particular, if they are attending or planning to attend the Cisco Live US here nearby in Orlando this summer. So that's my countdown. I know several others are now working on the same sort of countdown. So you see a lot, fewer people from North America labbing and more, focusing on studying and written, and you see a little less interaction. It's funny, as the days get closer, we're all sort of on the same, number of us are on the same countdown. We're getting sort of quieter and quieter as that date approaches, which is understandable. Less interaction, because when you're studying for the written, there's not really a lot of interaction, that you can have, I don't think, as much anyway, versus labbing. But we had an EU tamer, at least, an EU land tamer, who passed his written at the EU Cisco Live event, and now he's on labbing, which is really cool. And so I'm assuming by the time North American folks get caught up, maybe we'll all be back to labbing again, which will be cool. If we pass, we're going to pass, yes. So this leads up to my last, I think, update here. VIRL 1.5 is due to, I'm assuming, be released. There's a webinar scheduled for Tuesday, the 20th. I've signed up, but I will not be able to attend the webinar, which is a shame. But again, I'm going to be in class, and they've made it very clear: no cell phones, no laptops, no distractions at all. So again, I will not be there, but I hope to on Wednesday. Actually, probably Thursday, because of traveling and everything else. Thursday at the earliest, I'm going to be able to do the upgrade comment. I typically try to do a reaction video, kind of, wow, these are my first impressions of this new version. And that may give me time anyway, because usually it's a few days later when they actually release the update. I find it interesting that we're jumping to 1.5. I guess 1.4 was just completely skipped for whatever reason. But we're going right to 1.5. Maybe that's sort of an interim to a major release. Maybe it is a major release. We'll see. I'm curious to see what some of the new features are going to be. But that's, again, that may be my next vlog is that Thursday. And I plan to go ahead and do the upgrade. By the way, as I mentioned before, if you have to take a break due to family or other life issues that come up, it's good to remember to at least fire up VIRL if you're using it before you have to resalt, which is good. So, I remember to do that yesterday. I fired up VIRL even though I hadn't used it in a while. And I reset the timer, which, is just it's no big deal, but it does save you a little time if you have to take a break. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. And it looks like Thursday is when I'll be vlogging about that and giving you my first impressions. And hopefully, if time allows, again, depending on family project, I'll actually be able to do the install/upgrade live on stream and identify any caveats that I had on the Mac. Again, I'm running a Mac platform, and I'm using all of my setup configuration is down below. You'll see everything that I'm running, software, etc. But yeah, I'm on the Mac, and I've not yet upgraded my operating system due to issues that others have reported with Telnet, etc. on the Mac. So I'm still on Sierra, not High Sierra, but I'm on OS Sierra, and I'm running a slightly older version of VMware Fusion. I have not upgraded it. I did not see an incentive to upgrade. As you'll see here, I am on version 7.1.3. There now is an 8 something, but you really don't get much of a break for the upgrade. So I've not upgraded. I have not found a reason to upgrade. But I'm on the latest release version of VIRL, and I will be updating to 1.5 as soon as I can after it's released, and I'll be happy to share any pains or sorrow that I have. I'm going to be positive, though. Hopefully, this is a major release, and there's a lot of good stuff in it, and it's stable, even more stable and efficient than before. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Got to get back to my project. Happy learning, happy labbing. Keep at it, folks. Lab every day if you can. And if you can't, at least do what you can, review what you can, flashcards, etc. Boson. And hang in there, folks. Hope you get all the good bits, and we shall see you soon back here on the Land Tamer stream.